Greetings and salutations everyone, we're back with the Anomaly Interceptions of Goddess of Victory, Nike. I've been sort of fine-tuning my groups a bit, and I have actually managed to deplete a few health bars and see to the time up on some of these anomalies. So think of this as a sort of, not an early, okay, it's not mid-game-ish, or it depends on how you classify it, because the thing about these guys is that you don't actually have to kill them. You just have to get to stage 7. All rewards between stage 7 and actually killing the boss are the same. So any stage higher is just for people who are quote-unquote tryhards. A lot of it does come down to just needing higher levels on your Nike, but sometimes good strategy or developing the right Nike can help out. For most of these fights I can get around stage 3. Also worth pointing out that this is during a double reward weekend. Every now and then they will give out double rewards for doing interceptions and simulations and all sorts of stuff. And they really, honestly, maybe this is just me being greedy, but I feel like these double rewards are what it should be at all the time. Anyway, for Ultra, I have this composition. It's kind of not the most effective because I don't have any direct healing, but it works. In fact, thinking about it, I'd probably get more mileage out of having Tia than by having Naga in the group. And I accidentally left on the auto skill, which is not what I want. So, step 1 is always to go full burst with only red.
I was just sorry to break it to you, but this is the end. Start fully active.
And that is not a full burst with red, that is a full burst ended by Rappy. There's a reason I want to go full burst red here. Aside from the fact that it means that we can destroy the poison chambers almost immediately, the boss has some pretty nasty auto attacks right at the start. And if red goes full power, then she'll eat up most of it with her self-healing.
Develop something like an infinite magazine. I was just getting into the groove.
It is possible to negate that poison damage with a shield, but it's inconsistent, and our lack of healing here means that it's going to cause some trouble.
Keep the momentum going. Why don't they just develop something like an infinite magazine? Better reload.
Have to make sure that Tia doesn't heal herself there with her own taunts. The poison chambers just don't have any time to stick around. It took me a while to realize that Red Hood actually deals damage to all the poison chambers simply from trying to focus on the fight while also trying to commentate. Yeah, Red Hood's pierce damage means that she damages both chambers by aiming for the core, which is far more effective than trying to destroy all of them at once.
Why don't they just develop down with those to keep the momentum going?
But this only works for Red Hood, who has infinite pierce on her attacks.
Why don't they just develop something like an
You know, in
infinite
case you need a
magazine?
reminder of why pilgrims are so freaking rare, it's because they're so powerful.
Better reload. Oh no, I was just getting into the groove.
And because we've destroyed the core, I think we're actually generating less burst from having less targets. That's a little unfortunate, isn't it?
I was just getting into the groove. Why don't they just develop something like an infinite magazine? Down with those who would threaten the kingdom.
Teacher, let's go have some dessert now.
So yeah, we get plenty of extras from all this. The thing that I want to get is a helmet for Crown, which means that I am going to use the rest of my day's entries
Securing
on
victory
this.
for their subjects is a king's duty.
Did you see that? I'm strong, but my comrades are stronger.
Unfortunately, there are very low odds of getting what I actually want. Because there's like three different roles it could go to and 5 different manufacturers. But apparently this is something that a lot of people have to deal with. So next up is Indivilia. This team works pretty good for me, but I need to point out that there's a slight flaw. Increases damage dealt to Iron Code Nikes. Despite being a tank, it's very difficult for me to ensure that Crown survives the entire fight, so the goal is to get as much mileage out of her as we can until the boss decides we've had enough Crown. On the upside, Crown is immune to camouflage disruption, so she's actually good at taking out specific ads in this fight.
Down with those who would threaten the kingdom.
Those ones up there.
Be right back into it.
Crown actually aims for those on her own.
Down with those who would threaten
Your eyes on what is
And now I have to watch
How heavy your
for
burden
this.
has been.
The boss has death rays that can one-shot Nikes if it hits, so you have to make sure that you're ready for when that happens.
Be right back into it.
Down with those who would threaten the kingdom.
Give me a few minutes and I'll be right back into it.
Down with those who would threaten the kingdom.
Great time together.
Something that took me a while to figure out, and I'm a little ashamed to admit it, is that I didn't realize that the tail was a target because no attacks actually hit it. If you don't destroy the tail,
Those who would threaten the kingdom.
yeah, if you don't destroy the tail, then Indivilia will actually use an extremely powerful one-shot attack on people.
Down with those who would threaten the kingdom.
And we've actually made it past time 6.
Down with those who would threaten the kingdom.
I think the boss is about to enter her final phase though. Yep. This is the part that can kill Crown. I'm actually slightly surprised that it didn't. It pierces, So as I was saying, her tackle there actually pierces the ground. Oh, yeah. So that head tackle actually pierces cover, so you can't take cover to negate it. It's all down to the barriers and how much defense you have. And I think it must mean that I only recently got enough defense that Crown has a chance of surviving it at full health. She won't always be full health. Also, there's a thing about Crown that I should probably draw attention to. So, after a variant number of attacks, the higher the rank, the less attacks it takes to do it, but gives herself a buff. When she fully stacks this buff, she removes all the stacks, gains a certain amount of time invincibility, and taunt. Usually this is cool because she only taunts for as long as the invincibility lasts. The problem is, if it's an attack that takes a while to hit her, such as a volley of rockets, as we saw, then it means that she's going to be hit by all the rockets afterwards. I think the idea would simply be to wait until you see all that coming in, but it shows up so late I just don't learn to tune over to her to force her to take cover. Crown is still pretty good though. Now next on the list is Mirror Container. As you can see, we've got a pretty heavy electric team here, including the one and only Anichiro. This one is about getting your damage in at the start, because the longer the fight goes for, the less options you've got.
Reloaded. Wasn't that cool?
Let's test your luck.
Down with those. What are you looking at?
Get lost.
Now is the time of true beauty. Just a second, teacher.
Let's test
I want to preserve glass slippers. Full contact. Alright.
That was not Crown, was it?
I'm all in.
Just like how I did during practice.
I'll reload. Please bring me.
Down with those with threatened power.
Okay, yeah, the cancel ring section is actually really rough.
Just a second, teacher. Down with those with threatened
Your eyes
power.
on what a student can do. That hurt!
Reloaded. Wasn't that cool?
Practice drills.
Just like how I did. Down with those with threatened. Now is the time of true beauty. Reloaded. Wasn't that cool?
I'll reload. Please bring me up.
Just a down with those with threatened. Just like how I did during practice.
I can do this. It's just not quite working out so far.
Reloaded. Wasn't that cool? Just like how I did. Let's down with those with threatened. Power attack. second, teacher.
Reloaded.
Wasn't that cool?
Down with those protecting the kingdom.
Just a second, teacher.
Pretty close to our toxic drill.
It's very much a make or break moment, isn't it?
With those protecting the kingdom.
So here's the problem. The boss gains a very massive defense boost when it reaches this point.
Reloaded.
Yeah, we're only dealing 1 damage here.
Just a second, teacher.
And yeah, got very temperamental there. On the upside, we've made it down to times 6 health bars remaining.
Down with those protecting the kingdom. Please bring me luck. Down with those protecting the kingdom.
Now there is a trick to doing this, but unfortunately my Ian is not high enough power to actually do it.
I'll reload. Let's test your down with those protecting the kingdom. Now we must focus our attack. Please bring me luck. I'll reload. Let's test down with those protecting the kingdom.
And unfortunately, we definitely don't have the damage to make it through all of this nonsense. But the fight was already almost over.
The king's duty.
So the thing about Mirror Container is that a lot of its mechanics have a you have to one-shot this mechanic to it. Replica glass slippers can be destroyed with just 1 attack. What this actually means is that the first damage that it takes gives it immunity to all damage. So, if you can't kill it in the first shot, you don't get a second. This makes having a strong sniper very important. And it just so happens that Ian is a favourite for this fight, not just for her ability for being an attacker sniper of the electric type, but she also has a lot of true damage. Activates when near feather is summoned. Affect one random enemy unit, deal 73.15% of final attack damage as true damage. Or summon 6 near feathers and gain a true damage and charge damage boost during her full burst. Because the boss gives itself a 90% defense buff, the true damage is actually very useful. Meanwhile, despite being listed as a tank, Cinderella is actually a very good DPS for this fight. So when she enters full burst, she converts her final max HP into attack. This is handy because at the start of the battle or after entering a burst skill stage 3, she gains a decoy, which will gradually raise up her max HP to a bit more than 12%, but it's still a very nice bonus. And of course her burst skill is to hit everything multiple times over. Deal extra damage based on how beautiful she is. It's not as much damage as the first hit, but it's still, she's a very potent boss slayer. Now the reason why that Rouge, okay, last point on going on mechanics of it all, Rouge Attacks when attacking with full charge for 8 times, affects all allies. Increase their maximum HP without restoring HP, so that's extra damage for Cindy. Activates when assigned to the back row in battle, so that's the 4 slot or the 2 slot. Affects self and allies on 2 sides. Increase their attack damage. After attacking with full charge 30 times, affects self and 2 allies with damage taken down, reducing the damage taken for herself and 2 allies. But then after using burst skill for 5 times, she also increases the maximum HP again. Oh, and her burst one also increases maximum HP and adds even more max HP on top of that if she's in her double sword coin status up here. So yeah, Rouge is going to give out so many HP buffs to Cinderella that she's going to absolutely nuke everything. It's to the point that it might be a bit tricky for Crown to get the healing buffs for how often we're going to get HP boosts without restoring HP. Now this is the one that I am the least confident in. It's a bit of a hodgepodge team. We do have Christmas Ludmidia, who's nice DPS, and we have Dorothy, who's nice DPS. We need the water DPS.
Might, everything superfluous will be banished from paradise.
When you're lost, look to this lantern.
Ooh dear.
My turn. Everything we want to preserve beautiful memories of my
Yep.
purpose life.
The problem with Tia is that she has very aggressive taunts, and for me, she does not have enough HP to she doesn't have the defenses to take having that many taunts.
My turn. Everything we want to preserve beautiful memories of my purpose life.
So I have to jump over to her and make sure that she's in cover during these laser attacks.
Everything we want to preserve beautiful memories of my eyes on what a student can do. Give me a few minutes and I'll be right back into it. Everything we want to preserve beautiful memories of my purpose life. My turn. Everything we want to preserve beautiful memories of my purpose life.
Okay, avoid the cancel rings. Yep. Unfortunately, I was not fast enough on that one.
turn. Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life. My turn. Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life.
Okay, that's extremely unfortunate. Tia can repair her own cover, but she can't restore it, so if it gets fully destroyed, then she's screwed.
My turn. Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life. Be right back into it. My turn. Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life. Be right back into it.
Honestly, I should probably replace her with Crown,
My turn. Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus
but
life.
I have been able to make this one work.
Give me a few minutes and I'll be right back into it. Focus on my turn. Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life. My turn. Everyone wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life.
Okay, here we go. We reloaded at the right time.
Everything he wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life.
And we made it past the first skill check. On the downside, we didn't make it past the second. We needed the burst for that part.
Everyone wants to preserve beautiful memories of my campus life. Let's go.
But as you can see, I haven't quite figured out how to do this one properly. I know that I have in the past, it just isn't right now. Fortunately, I don't need shoes. Unfortunately, this is the other one that I'm not particularly the best at. I've actually tried using the wind combo team for this, but this is actually a better combination. Mana is very new, but her abilities, despite being attacker class, she's actually pretty decent. Specifically for Kraken because she is very good at boosting up Shadowblade Sakura, who is Scarlet. I am always getting Sakura and Scarlet confused. Shadowblade Scarlet here. And Shadowblade Scarlet is very popular specifically for Kraken. Because this is when you've got all the equipment you need, this is where you're going to come to farm your crystal modules.
You're a rather tenacious foe.
Make sure that these back tentacles are dead. In fact, I don't think I actually need to have control of my bursts because it feels like you just need to keep bursting. The rule for how to make progress in Kraken is unfortunately tied to these giant tentacles at the front. You need to be able to kill them to destroy the boss's armor early, and until you have the ability to destroy them quickly, you aren't going to make any progress in this.
Down with those with leech, render all asunder.
I have tried focusing entirely on killing these things. I'm just not good at it. And I do not have the power for it, so there's no point in trying.
Render all asunder.
What happened to Scarlet's health, though?
Render all asunder. Render all asunder. Like this. Down with those who threaten the kingdom. Be right back into it.
This boss is getting a bit temperamental, isn't he? Yeah, I really should be covering that blast. So, with 20 seconds to go, we actually made it through that core. But I put them in cover so they wouldn't join in, because with rocket launchers around, they've got a good chance of destroying the wrong cancel ring. The problem is that when I clicked go into cover, that included the person I was trying to control. And of course the thing is, if you actually do try to damage these tentacles and they go away on their own, the health resets. So yeah, I've heard from Reddit that this fight just feels really bad until you can actually wreck those.
render all asunder.
Okay, everyone is in cover, so I can aim as I need. Unfortunately, we only have 5 seconds left.
Down with those who threaten the kingdom. A commendable battle. But I desire stronger opponents next
We got
time.
close, but we just don't make it to the third round, which is why I don't really do this one either. So the thing is, Tia is a good healer most of the time. She heals cover, she heals HP, but being electric type against Kraken means that she is at risk of getting one shot, and it just doesn't work out. And the thing is, Tia combos with two very important defenders. She combos with Crown, who enjoys being healed and gives out damage buffs, and she combos with Tia, who enjoys getting cover healing to give out damage buffs. The alternate combination that you have is the bunny girls Blanc and Noir. Noir gives out extra max capacity and then increases ammunition, but also while she's at high health, she gives out an attack boost to everyone, and it's based on her own attack, and since she's an attacker, that's pretty good. You don't actually care about her burst. Blanc sort of enables her. She gives out a shield after landing enough attacks. She recovers HP for everyone after ending a full burst, and if there's an ally from the same squad, 777, on this battlefield, then she also gets a cooldown of her burst skill, which is otherwise 60 seconds, so she desperately needs to be fielded with someone else. Now that someone else doesn't have to be Noir. It can be Rouge, because Rouge is also a 777 squad mate. The downside is that she is also electric type, which means that she has the exact same problem that Tia would. So if you want to bring you basically have to bring Blanc and Noir to this fight if you want a strong combo. Honestly, it feels like mana is probably the best thing that could have been added for taking on this thing, but even then, we're still very much not at that point yet. At least for me. But with how I still haven't gotten a hat for Crown, we're not going to be going to this one for quite some time. But either way, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.
Red Hood. She is a good person.